Isn't that just gorgeous? We're at Crown Isle Resort. We're gonna be playing the golf course today. My first look at the course where I'll be playing Q School for PGA Tour Americas in 2024. Let's get into it. It's just interesting to think like this is gonna be a hole that I could very well come into with a whole lot of nerves and shakiness. Thinking about that as I plan this shot out, be ready to go when the time comes. If you got anything out of this video, I hope it's that view right there. That'd been big for the video. JT talked a little bit about when he's prepping for the Masters, he's going around his short game facility, hitting shots that he knows he's gonna need for the Masters. He's visualizing those shots. And I think getting to play this course right now, a couple months before I gotta get out here and actually compete, is gonna be awesome for those 50 extra practice sessions where I'm able to visualize the tee shots I'm supposed to be hitting out here as I'm hitting on the range wherever I might be back home in Kansas, on the road at the mini tour events I'm gonna be playing to prep for this event. Unbelievably good opportunity to maybe get a little bit of an edge on a lot of the guys that haven't had a chance to get up here. The greens are looking fantastic. They look great so far. We're gonna see how they roll. That was a pure roll. First hole, I believe it's par 5. Just gonna be taking a cut off the left edge of the fairway. Like right now, there's nothing riding on it, no stakes, nothing. Every time I hit this tee shot from now on, this is gonna be the last time I hit it without some form of nerves. So we're gonna soak that in. We're gonna try to embody that. We're gonna like that. Just over the corner. Yep, I see it bouncing in the fairway. I'll take that 4 times in June. Tried my hardest to print off a decade yardage book before we came out here, but I messed it up. And we were already running kind of late. So right now I've got the decade yardage book on my phone. I'll kind of just take mental notes. I'm obviously filming a lot today, so any notes about the course I'll have on video. This course is beautiful. Kind of Augusta National-esque. Well, here's my ball in the fairway, and this is good to see. Where driver is a lot wider than where any kind of layback club would be. So I know driver's the play. Got plenty of room up here, and what a beautiful angle at the pin. Got 185 into the wind here. Just gonna hit a low piercing 7. This might be a little bit too little club, but we'll give it a try. See how the ball's flying out here. I'd rather be short than long. Just a hair out to the right, but struck pretty good. All right, it's on the green, might be around pin high. That's good to know. So we strike it good, ball kind of flies out here. I feel like we might be at a bit of elevation. So we hit that shot to 40 feet, 2-putted for birdie, but that's not really what this video is about. We're doing recon, right? So this green here, a little bowl in the front, that's important to note. Pretty flat all the way around, but then a shelf in the back left, and then a slight bowl in the back left. A pin right there in that kind of front back left quadrant is going to be super important. And then also taking a look at the hole backwards, something Ben Hogan always did. And this one, you don't learn a whole lot looking at it backwards. Where I hit my tee shot's perfect. 4 birdies there is going to be just fine. We can sneak an eagle in, that'd be awesome, but averaging 4 on that first hole, maybe 4.2 I think would be probably about tour average. That's not even close to accurate, but you get what I'm trying to say. We'll take a 4 there every time.
PGA Championship and the NBA playoffs are here, and today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to help make it a lot more fun. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to pick fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on certain stats such as points, threes, and so much more. Make entries of all NBA or PGA Championship picks, or mix and match across your favorite sports. Underdog has one of the biggest offerings in golf, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Underdog is available in 30 plus states, including California, Florida, Texas, and good news for our friends in the Great North, Canada. They also just launched Champions, their player versus player game in Florida. So if you live in Florida, check that out. Here are my picks for this week. I have Tiger for 3.5 birdies or better, Brooks Koepka to finish better than 5.5 on the leaderboard, and for Jason Tatum to score more than 7.5 first quarter points. New customers can pair those selections with Scottie Scheffler to score higher than 1 point. That's right, just 1 point, and you win that pick. And Underdog Fantasy will match your first deposit up to $250. So use promo code Haddon to validate that. And again, thank you to Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Haddon for $250 matched on your first deposit. Let's get back to this practice round at Q School with everybody's favorite underdog, yours truly.
Sending driver on the second one, kind of a reachable par 4. They want you to hit 275. We're not going to do that. This will be good to see. Where does that go? Just a little left, but I think it might actually be a pretty sweet angle from there. This ball being in this bunker is a problem because this leaves us with the hardest shot in golf, in my opinion. About a 50-yard bunker shot. If we can avoid that, that's absolutely going to be the play. Try to put it somewhere in here instead. So I guess into the wind, maybe not the move. About like a 55-yard bunker shot. I'd probably hit a pitching wedge, but yeah, I'm going to do that. We're not playing YouTube golf anymore. We got to actually execute the right shot instead of just going, I'm not going to go back to the cart. Yeah, pretty happy with that. That's a hard shot. While I did execute that shot pretty well, still one we're gonna try to avoid at all costs in the tournament. Gotta get a little more juice. Okay, so this is actually gonna be kind of an interesting tee shot. Hole number 3, I started it down this cart path right here as like my fade off line, and faded off of that, wound up in that water. So I underestimated how much room I had left. There's a lot of room left here. But the problem we're running into is there's all these trees that make this shot into the green pretty impossible if I get caught up in them. It is 65 yards wide from stake to stake, so it does fit the decade requirements for a driver. This is obviously a huge advantage to be this close to the green, but does it outweigh how hard it would be if I got caught in those trees? That's something we got to think about. I think it's driver still. When in doubt, it's usually driver. 160 from back here. A little downwind. I'm gonna go smooth 9-iron. We're just gonna try to hit it as close to the hole as possible. During the tournament, I anticipate pins are gonna be a little more tucked. It's gonna require some strategy, but for now, we just get to try and make hole-in-ones. Get there. Ooh, that'd have been a nice hole-in-one. That'd have been big for the video. Okay, I'm gonna do my duty here. Just clean this up. Nice little up and down for birdie. Still got to do our diligence on this hole. Looks like we got a little bit of runoff on the left. If this thing lands anywhere left of this green, it's probably going to kick into that water. This green effectively plays a lot smaller than it is. You can see there's some runoffs here, about 6 to 8 paces onto the green. Kind of the same deal over here, 2 to 3 paces onto the green. So effectively the edge of the green is going to run off. It lands there. I can see a situation where if you had a little bit of draw spin on it, you land it on the green right about here maybe, it kicking down into the water. So definitely going to be playing a little bit extra right. It looks like there's 2 waters here. I know this one's 320. This one's just out of reach into the wind from that back tee box. So today we're just trying to stay left of the water. Hopefully have enough to cover that first water and not get to the second one. That's kind of the Goldilocks zone. Generally just hitting a cut off of these bunkers, I think is going to be a pretty solid play. This is actually good to see because I thought this was like right down the middle and I'm almost in the water right. And it doesn't look like being long of this water and short of that one is an option. So we definitely need to play a lot farther left than we did. 209 playing 215, a little into the wind, a little uphill lie, 5-iron right at it. If we catch a little flyer, that'd be ideal, but just trying to get something up there pin high, give ourselves a look at eagle. It's right at it. Oh, it's fading a little bit. Get up. Oh, it's short. I'm kind of hitting it like a baby. Just not getting through it super aggressively. We'll get up and down though. A little bit of reconnaissance up here by the green. Doesn't look like these bunkers are the worst place to be. That one might be a little tough. That one back there, we're just gonna try to avoid like the plague. But these 2 bunkers don't seem to be that bad. That bunker long might just be a little nerve-wracking with water long, but overall, not much risk in going for it here. We shall get aggressive. I guess not aggressive, we're just gonna hit to the right spot, which is on the green. Good that we get out here because the overhead views tell me like no question, just driver like over the cart path here. Now I get out here and I see these trees that might be protecting, but we're hitting driver everywhere today because we can always dial it back. Just want to see where these go. It's pretty much right where Decade says, and we'll get up there and see what's up. Turns out driver's like most certainly the play here. It's a little bit nerve-wracking from back there. I even thought off the tee I might have hit this thing too far right, but I'm in the left edge of the fairway, 69 yards to the pin. There's just going to be a lot of trusting it out here this week, and I think a big part of my practice is going to be really nailing down like, okay, I'm going to hit this driver with this shot shape and know it's going to wind up in a certain window, because not being able to see where your ball is going during, especially in tournament golf, is a little bit stressful. But if you know where it's going and you know where to land it, it's not that bad. 69 yards. I'm going to hold this. I think that might have actually gone in. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it appears to be about I'd say about 6 inches. Honestly, that's a long distance from the hole. I'm definitely gonna have to go putt that. Wedgies are dialed. Wedgies are feeling really, really good. The way that I feel like my turf interaction has gotten a lot better since I've made this like shallowing swing change, and especially on wedge shots of about that distance, my control has gotten a lot better. Good to see going forward, especially that being my massive weakness in the past. I'm glad to see that's working well right now. Okay, 202 yards here, par 3. The background could be a little prettier. I got 6-iron here. Just gonna hit a little cut ski up against the wind. Try to land this thing soft right on top of it. Wind should help a little bit as well. All over it. Just be the number. Be the number. It's just a hair short, it looks like, but that's a really good shot with a really cool background. If you got anything out of this video, I hope it's that view right there. I hope it comes across on camera.
Get in there.
That's gotta turn. Oh, I'll take 3s all day long at Q school and any tournament for that matter. Hats are in the shot, by the way. Thanks to Decade, actually. Blind tee shots like this, I can just pick a target that's 15 yards in front of me from the app, like from the overhead view, and it's easy as pie. I know I'm just going between these 2 light trees here, hitting driver as hard as I can. It's a hair right, but I think that's gonna be just fine. Oh yeah, we're chilling. Kick left, should be in the fairway. So far, like tee to green, this course fits me really well. I'm anticipating I'll be hitting it a little farther by the time I come back here. This swing I'm working on, I don't have a ton of power with it, like a ton of effortless power. I still gotta work for it. And once we get that going, I think we're gonna be in really good shape out here. Little hold off cut, right at the flag. Flyer, flyer, flyer. Oh no. I'm gonna get Jalen his nature shots. Well, here's my ball. There's the pin. Not exactly what appears to be the easiest up and down. That's running away from me. And we are in the weeds. I don't have a camera person, but you're gonna have to trust me if I got this up and down. Oh God. Okay, so don't hit it long there. Whew. We learned something. I did not get it up and down. GPS watch is actually stupid handy. It's come very clutch. Cut. That might be a hair left. Oh, we got a simple one here, folks. Cut off the bunker. Just like that. 112 here, tad bit into. I'm gonna go knock down 50. It's a back pin. I don't know how far it is from the back edge. I'm assuming I got a little bit of room. Just gonna try to land this like right on top of it. 112 into the wind, it should be playing like 122. Just get back there, go. A little short, and it's spinny. Ooh, good miss. I'd rather be short than long pretty much everywhere on this golf course, I think. Just getting some footage from here because you can see it at this level. These green complexes are awesome. A lot of undulation, a lot of really subtle slopes that we're gonna have to keep in mind when we're deciding what shots we want to hit. 205, a little downhill as well. Not much wind to speak of though. I'm gonna go kind of a light 6-iron. I just wish the backgrounds were worth looking at. I'm sorry guys, I wish we could be at a more picturesque location. Hair right of it. Little necky, hope it gets there. That's short. I should have listened to the Decade strategy with front pins, which is just hit it past. You're probably gonna miss hit it. And there I go, miss hitting it, coming up short. Scott would be disappointed. Not a lot about this green. As far as undulation goes, there's a little bit of mounding in the back, kind of the back right-ish portion. Maybe a small bowl back there, a small bowl on the front right. But the thing I like about this is it's tilted from front right to back left, meaning that for a right-hander, your shot dispersion is gonna fall very close within this hole, pretty much no matter where it is. At least it's gonna fit your shot dispersion a lot better because right-handed players, their shot dispersion goes from front right to back left because of how the club is oriented. For lefties, actually, this hole is gonna be a little bit more difficult. Score one for the normal people. Shout out, Mac. Dog leg right. You can go for the green, but you gotta hit a pretty big cut. And I can hit a pretty big cut, so we're gonna do that. They planted this tree here to keep you from going for it, but they didn't know I could hit a banana slice if I need to. I think that's possibly perfect. Ooh, baby. That's just the easiest shot for me to hit. Number 13 here. It's actually, tee box is back there. Green is right there. This is on the card as a 405-yard par 4, but I think that's only to the layup zone and then to the green. But crow's fly, it's like 330. So downwind, in theory, it's drivable, but not as much space here as I thought. I don't think driver's going to be the play. We did find our ball here in a really good spot. Tons of green to work with, 64 yards. We're about 15 yards away from super thick trees here. And then on the other side, about 30, maybe 40 yards that way is water. Kind of squeezing it into a really tight area, but this is like a very doable shot if I need to make something happen. The nice thing right now is with the contact that I'm making on these wedges, I know immediately if it's good or bad. That one I knew was bad right away. Just didn't hit hard enough. That's significantly better. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Fairway's pretty wide and then it gets super narrow up there where driver's meant to be hit. We're going 5 wood, probably hit this 270, 280 with this wind. And yeah, pretty much perfect. So one thing I like about this 5 wood is it'll stop. That 2 iron, if I tried to lay up with it ever, it would just keep running and keep running and keep running until something stopped it, like water or rough. But this 5 wood, it has enough spin on it that it lands and it just goes, all right, I'm here. I'm where I want to be. It's a lengthy hole. We might go 3 wood. We got a little bit of room here. With how much room we have up there, we might be able to hit like a cut 3 wood. 5 wood's just like auto safe every single time. So we'll see. Might hit 3 wood next practice round. Okay, pin high right. Not the most beautiful of golf shots, but we're putting. We like putting. Q school in putting is good. All right, starting to get the speed dialed in just a tad better. If I can guarantee tap ins on lags like that, I'll be pretty happy. Welcome to Crown Isle. Am I right? If I got to work around that corner, I'm not hitting driver. I'm gonna have to hit 3 wood. It's gonna be a back of the stance old trap draw 3 wood probably. And if that gets far enough, that should be perfect. That is exactly what we're gonna do all 4 days right there. Happy with that. Got 230, a little bit downwind. I'm just gonna hit a 5. Actually, I'm gonna hit 4. I've come up short a lot today. Hit the shot we need. Awkward stance. We're standing in a bit of a French drain. Yeah, it might be pretty good. About 10, 15 feet right of pin high. Struck it nice. If it's long, we're happy about that too, because we finally hit one past the flag. We kind of got an easy pin location today. Front left, obviously not going to get that every day, but if we get a back right here, here is the right edge of the green, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you hit it 7 yards right of the right edge of the green, you are out of bounds. Like, obviously, if you hit the cart path, you're not staying in bounds. So 7 yards, 7 paces from the right edge of the green is OB on a par 5. So if there's a pin over here on the right side of the green, we're not even looking at it. 175 here, a little into the wind, going 7 iron. It's the 16th hole and we haven't had a hole in one yet. So it's starting to get kind of sad. Hopefully this will break our streak. Gusty into it here. A little right. Struck it nice though. That has got to be so much wind. I felt like I hit that super solid. That's crazy. 150 for a hard 7. I'm blown away by that. Well, this is a really odd tee shot. I'll show the overview here. It's essentially like 290 to the end of the fairway, trees in the middle of the fairway at like 265, 270, and the green's up there at about 370. There's rough up there through the fairway. I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm just gonna hit driver as hard as I can because it's wide enough and see where it ends up. Okay, well, hold on. It might actually be okay. It was floaty enough. A little better. I'm interested to see what it looks like up there. I haven't played this hole yet. I just know that it's wide enough where driver is available or where driver's gonna land. So just hit it and see where it goes. Here's that tee shot I just hit. To that flag, it's pretty screwed. It's honestly, a lot of it's gonna depend on where the pin is. If it's in that back right spot, there's fairway bunker there, both pretty difficult shots unless the pin's in the front. So if the pin's in the front, I think we hit driver. And if it's not in the front, just something just past those trees, those pines, this is just a funky enough hole that I might just hit driver and deal with the consequences. This could be a fun golf shot. Come on back. Hey, wait, no way. That turned out pretty good. That went up that hill and came back to like 2 feet. All right, 18th and final hole here. Looks like the line is just over kind of the left side of these bunkers that are currently covered in a tarp. Yeah, it's just interesting to think like this is gonna be a hole that I could very well come into with a whole lot of nerves and shakiness. So thinking about that as I plan this shot out, just gotta practice more. Be ready to go when the time comes. It's a little right of where I wanted to go. Be interesting to see where this ends up. Fairway. All right, we're chilling. Chilling. 115, final hole. Just gonna go full 50 degree. Oh, what a Yankee doodle. Pin high though. Acceptable. This camera is sitting on top of the golf cart right now. Hoping and praying I remember and don't drive away. All right, 18 footer up the hill, left to right. Not enough turn. It looked good, just didn't quite turn. All right, finishing with par. There are worse things. Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see future tournament content coming up, we just filmed 2 tournaments. We are filming 2 more tournaments before we go up to Q School. So we got 5 guaranteed tournament vlogs coming up, probably a whole lot more. We're getting back into professional golf. We're taking this game seriously. Actually, I'm in Salina, Kansas right now. Just got a lesson with my coach. I'm not gonna say what for, because it's kind of spoilers for videos coming up. Really happy with the progress we're making, working hard in the game, trying to get back in shape. Always press hats are in the shop, bhg.golf. Got this style and 3 more, plus some other really cool stuff coming to the store. So make sure to go check it out. Link is in the description. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.